Hey, what's up guys? This is Dark Warrior here, coming at you again with another video. And today we're going to be talking about why you need to quit your freaking retail or 9 to 5 or construction job, whatever you want to call it. So let's get right into it. I'm going to go into some pros, into some cons of what's going to happen if you stick at this job. You know, just from my personal experience being on both sides. Trust me, bro, I know how it is. I know exactly how freaking depressing it can be to work at one of these jobs. So a little bit of backstory. So I've actually worked at a number of these crappy jobs. My first job ever was working at a fast food place when I was in high school, which, you know, it had its fun moments, of course, and but I was in high school, so I don't really count that as like, yeah, you could be like an entrepreneur or whatever at that age, but, you know, you still need to have experience unless you're like really smart or something, you know? Which, you know, I'm not like a genius when it comes to this shit, so. Anyways, point being is that I always remember being freaking depressed working at these jobs. And I'm pretty sure you do too. I see like the average worker. You know, recently I was actually in Mexico City in the subway. And I saw all the freaking workers like on the train, you know, and let me tell you this, guys, like they looked so freaking depressed, like it was insane. Like they were like slunched over. They were all like going to their shift, you know, they were holding on to the thing, like they looked like hollows off of Dark Souls. Like there was no soul in their eyes anymore. Like they were just staring into space. Like, damn near everybody on this freaking train looked like they hated their life. And, you know, the same thing goes for, like, yeah, here in the U.S. Like, I see it all the time. I see the workers driving around. Like, you know, I know people that work those crap jobs. I've been there. It can be very, very depressing to be in one of these jobs, you know. Especially if you hate your boss. You don't get time to spend with your family, all that stuff. I'm going to go into reason number 1, why you need to quit your crap job. Number 1, your boss. If you are a man, get this. If you have a boss, you have a master. You literally have someone dictating your life. Same thing goes for your wife, your girlfriend. If your woman has to go out every day and work for another guy, guess what? She has a man in her life that is above her and in a dominant position. Now, I know there's like this man-woman thing, but like, let's be real. You would rather your wife either staying at home or your girlfriend staying at home and not being subject to some other dude, some manager, some sales guy, some business owner. You'd rather her work in your company, right? As an accountant or something. Me personally, you know, with my ride or die woman, I would rather have her either working in my company or not working at all, working for the household, doing, you know, God knows what needs to be done, like as far as like keeping the family running. You know what I mean? I would not be comfortable with her going out and working in some office with some guy, some boss. You know, it's another man in her life, dominant over her. Like, let's be real, this situation. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why you just need to become an entrepreneur in general, guys. Like, cut the BS. We don't want to work for another person. We want to work for ourselves. But the problem is that so many guys think that it's impossible. You know, there's a lot of guys that think that it's too complicated or it's all this, you know, they don't want to deal with like the extra labor and stuff. All right, fine. You don't want to deal with the extra responsibility? Fine, live a mediocre life working for someone else, making someone else rich, making another man's dream come true. Don't go on that badass vacation. Don't go on that cruise that you want to go. Don't go to freaking Europe, you know. And, yeah, and like, you know, you're going to just be living paycheck to paycheck. And don't get me wrong, you know, there's some high paying jobs out there. You know, some of y'all are, I'm sure, doctors or whatever you want to call it. But when you're an entrepreneur and you're on this self improvement thing, you have so much more control over how much money, your growth, your potential. You know, it really just depends on how hard you work as a man, you know, or as a woman, you know, if you're a lady, a girl boss, you know what I mean? Me personally, ever since I started this journey, I started off not making much, of course. Every time you start a business, you're not going to be making that much money. But I can tell you right now, once I was like actually in the game, like grinding, hustling, guess what? Oh, I'm going on a trip. I'm going on a vacation. I want to buy this thing. Guess what? I just started working harder, just putting in a little bit extra work, and sure enough, my bank account was flying up. Versus a job where you have to save money. Guess what? You're only going to make a capped amount. You know, yeah, you can work overtime or whatever, but you know, how many hours of overtime can you really put in? Calculate up, oh, you make 20 an hour and you work 40, 50 hours a week. You're never going to make more than that max 40 or 50 hours, right? You're not making any money while you sleep. You're just trading your time. You're clocking in, clocking out your shift. You're making that capped amount, and then like, oh, you're waiting years for a freaking raise unless you keep switching careers. Which, yeah, that's probably like the second like smartest thing if you're not an entrepreneur is like if you're like a professional like with a career, like I said, a lawyer, a doctor, a politician, but you have to keep jumping around, you know what I mean? And honestly, with those careers, like you could start your own practice anyways, you know, like you're a doctor, you can start your own doctor's office. You're a lawyer, you can start your own law firm. If you're a politician, well, I guess, you know, you got to work for the government whether you like it or not. But, you know, I don't have any interest in being a politician for that reason. But yeah, when you start your own business and you own your own business and you work for yourself or you become a contractor, you basically just start creating your own value. You start learning more things. You really take control of your life, you know, and that's one of the main things is like you really feel like you have control. And trust me, like, don't get me wrong, like it's not gonna be freaking sunshine and rainbows whenever you start doing this stuff. Like, if anything, I'm gonna be honest, I've never worked this hard in my life. I've never worked this many hours. But each one of these hours doesn't feel like degrading. It doesn't feel depressing. I used to dread the feeling of going into work. It used to give me anxiety. And I'm sure it does for a lot of y'all too. But waking up every day and knowing, damn, I'm working for myself. I'm working for my family. I'm building a future. I don't have to kowtow to anyone but my clients and myself in general, which that's your new boss is going to be, you know, your clients, of course. Even when you're number one, you have to answer to someone. Shareholders, clients, your employees. That's not going away. But the fact is that at least you have more freedom to make the choices that you want, the people that you want to deal with to a certain extent. And just knowing that you're a freaking boss, man. Like, think about how your lady feels knowing that you're the king of the ship. Captain of the ship, my bad. Just knowing that you're a guy that took the plunge, and yeah, it's going to be scary. You know, I could go on for hours about this. It's going to be terrifying leaving that stable job. And that's what keeps so many guys like racked to that position, that stable job, whatever you want to call it. You know, because you have some sort of commitment, car payment, kids, you know, all that stuff. But honestly, y'all, like, you know, I don't have much more to say. There's going to be more videos about this in the future. But yeah, this is your guy, Dark Warrior. if I keep going, I'm going to keep going on tangents. But like, subscribe, hit up my channel. You know, we're building something real here. I plan on sharing all of my life advice so far. I'm on this journey with you guys. I'm still learning every day too. I'm still improving every day. But the important thing is that I want to share this information with y'all, and I want y'all to grow with me. And yeah, we're going to make that bank. We're going to get that bag. Going to become a millionaire. And I'm taking y'all on the journey with me. So one day we'll look back on this video and come back and see how we've done. All right? Peace out, y'all. Blessings. Get out there. Work hard. Leave that crappy job. All right? Kudos.